Mr. President, we don't want it to be killed. We just want a bit of modification. We don't want the bill killed, but it should be slight modifications. It's a necessary bill.
Distinguished Senator Natasha, in the chamber, you have to be recognized before you speak.
Oh, pardon me.
Yeah, we are not in a nightclub. Whether we should kill the motion. Anyway, I've heard from those in support and those not in support. So I'll put the question. Distinguished colleagues, those in favor that this bill be now read a second time, say aye. Those against, say nay.
Mr. President, we don't want it to be killed. We just want a bit of modification. We don't want the bill killed, but it should be slight modifications. It's a necessary bill.
Distinguished Senator Natasha, in the chamber, you have to be recognized before you speak.
Oh, pardon me.
Yeah, we are not in a nightclub. Those in favor that this bill be now read a second time, say aye. Those against, say nay. Clark. What happened? Distinguished colleagues, my ears are very good. Those in support that this bill be now read a second time, say aye. And those against, say nay. The nays have it. If you think that the Senate President did not hear well, call for a division. Whether you will not be disgraced. No. I'm saying,
Mr. President.
Sorry, Leader of the Senate, because Senator Sani Musa seems to have a problem with his ear. I'm advising him to look at our rules. Do you wish to call for division in line with our rules? No. I have ruled, but he has the liberty, if he disagrees with the ruling, to call for division. Do you wish to call for division?
Mr. President, we will bring the bill back again.
Should not be transported on roads. If we develop our internal road network, internal waterways, for example, products can move from Lokoja waterways down to the Niger Delta part of Nigeria, to Warri and on airports. That would actually unburden the roads and will now even save and avoid accidents. So what I'll propose, sir, is instead of having it named the National Road Transport Council, it should read the National Transport Council of Nigeria, whereby innovations in other means of transportation can be harmonized. Our waterways, our rail networks are all designed independently and not in a coordinated fashion. So we would love a situation whereby every aspect of our transportation is looked into and developed by deploying the most modern, innovative ways. So, sir, that's my submission. National Transport Council of Nigeria should be the new name rather than the National Road Transport Council. Thank you.
Yes. This is
No, Labour Party, please. Don't follow Oshomole to misinform the public. Mr. President, I'm not very comfortable with this bill in the sense that I've read the objectives of this bill, and I do not think that we do not have the framework to manage our road transport system presently as to going to establish a national road transport council, national council. If you look at all the things happening in the road transport sector, we already have agencies of government that regulate movement of vehicles on our roads. We have the Federal Road Safety Commission, if we are thinking about how to maintain safety in the usage of our roads. The Federal Road Safety Commission is a well-constituted commission that is working across the Federation of Nigeria. There's no place you don't see them. They are well-staffed. Aside from them, in the Federal Ministry of Works, you also have vehicle inspection, VIO. That department also gets involved in the management of our road transport usage, VIOs. They're everywhere. You see them. If you begin to talk about a council that will regulate and coordinate activities of National Union of Road Transport Workers and the rest of it, these are agencies that are also operating. They are in place. State governments have road usage management agencies. State governments, like in my state, we have Anambra State Traffic Management Agency, ASTMA. They're all over the place, wearing uniforms. So a National Road Transport Council is because the necessary things have not been done. He had a motion 2 months ago that was delayed because of the Ramadan break, when 26 people died. I live in Enugu, and I told him I would like to co-sponsor that motion. But because of the holidays, we couldn't go forward. So we have agencies of government that can do this. Federal Ministry of Works have not been able to solve the problem there. When he was speaking, Senator Natasha contributed finally to the cause of the problem there. This is a place where you have two roads on different layers. One is below the other, and the other one is out of use. They have not done that lane. The one that is on a higher lane has to carry all the vehicle traffic, trailers and all manners of things, with congestions on the road. So because of the failure of the Federal Ministry of Works to do the lower layer, so that vehicles going to one direction will all go through that way, the other ones coming up will go through the other way. Everybody has recourse to one lane, and it has continued to cause carnage. I don't see what another National Transport Road Council will help us do. If these agencies cannot effectively do this, the Federal Ministry of Works repairs our roads. The Federal Road Safety Commission is there to direct vehicle movement and traffic management on our roads. Because once we pass this bill, you go into another bureaucracy of setting up a council that will begin to talk about touts and all manners of things. These people are already regulated. There are agencies of government in place to regulate these activities. So I'm not opposing the bill because I don't like the thing, but I read it. If you look at the functions of the National Road Transport Council, you see that most of them are vague. If you read all these things now, you see they are vague in content. Lack of comprehensive policy framework, this is vague. Inadequate insurance coverage, there's no measure for this. Poor regulation and oversight. Who is oversighting and who is regulating and all that. So I've gone through it, and I believe the best thing to do is to ensure that the agencies in place should be strengthened to do their work. The Federal Road Safety Commission is in a position to help us have safe movement of these vehicles on the roads. Then Ministry of Works should do the roads and repair them. If you don't repair the roads, there's nothing the council can do. The council cannot repair the roads. The one we have that is the major problem we are facing in this 9th-mile corner, you have also talked about. It's not about any other thing, not about council. It's about the failure of the Federal Ministry of Works to do the second layer of the road, the one that is on a lower level. Do it asphalt so the vehicles can ply smoothly. The other lane will go in opposite direction, and these debts will cease. So I humbly submit, Mr. President, that we have had too many councils and agencies and nothing works. Let those we have be strengthened to do their work. This is my contribution. Thank you, Mr. President.
Distinguished Senator Natasha Odwaga.
Add my voice in this all-important bill. And on the opposite side, in view of the fact that we are talking about Orasanyo report, where we are trying to eliminate most of the agencies that are duplicating functions, I would like to say that with all the good intents of this bill, it has all the objectives. All the objectives are being taken care by other agencies that we know, just like distinguished Senator Vitume said. I would rather be supporting that we'll come up with a motion urging all the agencies to rise to the occasion, to rise to their duties, perform their duties, because it's failure on the part of all the agencies that we know that is causing all this problem. The bill is well intended, but of a truth, all what we see here are already being taken care by other agencies that are in existence. So we should rather be saying that we move a motion urging all those relevant agencies to rise to their duties. I so submit.
Okay, that's almost, otherwise we'll just create an omnibus legal framework that will now be conflicting with the existing acts of parliament. Yes, Senator Agadaga.
This bill has also seen that it's an important bill that we need to pass to make sure that we supervise our transport system in Nigeria. But I want to align my views with that of Senator broader than restricting it to road transport alone. Those of us who live in the riverine areas, we need the coordination or the function to the marine transport system there as well. And if we pass this bill, it means tomorrow another bill will come for the marine transport sector. Next tomorrow another one will come for the air transport sector and the rail. And in line with the Science and panel's recommendation, we really don't need to multiplicate these organs in the country. And so if we make it Road Transport Council of Nigeria, to embrace all these areas and have directorates to handle the different areas involved. This is my submission, Mr. President. Thank you so much.
Argued by Senator Ume and supported by two other distinguished senators. Mr. President, when I was growing up, we have only, under the Nigeria Police, we have the traffic division. And they did their job so diligently, so that if there are roadblocks, you will find them try to manage traffic. If there are accidents, they do everything to establish who is wrong, who is right, preparatory to go to court if the party decides to go to court. Thereafter, we set up the Road Safety Commission. I don't know the experience of my fellow distinguished senators. If you ask me, I do not think even the Road Safety Commission has added value to road transportation, whether it is of promoting safety or ensuring that, that drivers obey traffic laws. Except that you find them under the tree collecting money from poor road users. I think what we need is to make existing institutions to work. And where they fail to work, we evoke sanction. Just recently, I had a conversation with a fellow senator in these chambers. And this senator was shocked about what she observed directly. I don't know why the Turaki of Lorry is blocking the Senate. You are supposed to be sitting under the rule. When a senator is standing speaking, other senators cannot be standing. That is the rule. So the new chief whip, please rise to the occasion and protect my right. Chief whip.
Please address the chair.
Mr. President, sir. This is your juju struggle. So, Mr. President, I think this House must be seen to act in a manner that is in tune with those broad policy statements that we have accepted, namely, to avoid multiplication of agencies that have duplicated functions, which is at the heart of the much talked about Orosaye report. Under your leadership, sir, may it not be said that while Nigeria is committed to cutting federal government excessive overhead expenditure, that more agencies are created that will lead to appointment of more directors, deputy directors, chairmen of board members, etc., all of them drawing allowances, and in the end, nothing changes. We have National Union of Road Transport Workers. They are registered under the Trade Union Act, and that I provide for their own responsibilities. I think many of us have reservations about the incompetence of the Nigeria Road Safety Commission, which is my view, that they are incompetent, they are not adding value, and yet they are drawing so much for public treasury. Let us, in line with the current spirit of cutting down costs, to meet other more challenging expenses. We don't need to create agency for everything. Because like he said, the last speaker, Senator Agadaga, who supported my sister, Natasha, that we may end up tomorrow, if there's an accident in a boat, we set up a waterways transport commission. And then we will set up rail transportation commission. Which country are we competing with? It tells a number of vehicles in relation to our population. There are countries with far more vehicles. They don't have all these institutions. Mr. President, we have all had the privilege of traveling, every senator here. One policeman, if you overspeed, he will arrest you, he will take your card, he will go to his car, he will key in your name to see whether you are wanted for other things. That is the kind of improvement I would like to see. An officer that is multi-skilled, multi-talented, and multi-task to justify the salary that he or she receives. They can be so well paid, rather than duplication of institutions and everybody end up being underpaid. I move, sir, that we kill this motion here. It should not go through second reading. There is no apology to anyone who moved a motion because we are discussing issues. We are not discussing the mover of the motion. Every senator here, we are brothers and sisters, including Agadaga, including Natasha, including Senator Ome, whose name I will never forget again, but I can't forget Abga. So, sir, I support that this motion be killed for the reasons that have been very well enumerated, beginning with Senator Ome. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. President, distinguished colleagues. My name is Muhammad Adamaleru, representing Kebbi Central. Mr. President, I rise to support or to second, to support this bill for two reasons. Number one, road users presently are not regulated. The only federal agency responsible for the regulation of road users is Federal Road Safety Corps. And it is an act of National Assembly. State governments are also responsible for the regulation of road users, particularly when it comes to the issue of vehicle inspection officers. We don't have them at the federal level. What we have is the Federal Road Safety Corps. Perhaps they are doing what we call BIO functions at the federal level. So the conflict may likely arise when this council is established, because the state governors or state governments have the BIOs, and they have also their own roads. Equally, we have the federal roads, we have state roads. So there might be conflict. As you rightly know, both state governments and federal government can regulate on the transportation sector. So, because it is on the concurrent legislative list. So I will suggest that when we go to the public hearing, we try to sort out areas of conflict so that we can come up with a very good framework that will be acceptable to all. So I'm not opposed to this bill, but where there is conflict, we should try to avoid it, particularly on the functions of the state government. Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you, distinguished Senator Ali.
Enugu West. Mr. President, the importance of this bill cannot be overemphasized. Mr. President, I want to speak on the safety aspect, because the bill also made provision for policy formation and the regulation of the transport sector. Mr. President, I'll use Q2 of 2023 as a point to support this bill. Going by the National Bureau of Statistics, Q2 2023 recorded 2,967 road accidents in Nigeria. And in these road accidents, we had 1,349 fatalities. For me, we can, as much as we want, believe these statistics, but in Q3, when I visited the headquarters of Nigerian Road Safety Commission, because of an accident that occurred somewhere in my constituency, they were magnanimous to give me the records. But I now found out that in one particular road, they call Ugoyama, along the Enugu-Onitsha Expressway, from January to April 2023, it recorded 74 deaths in a particular spot. And this is because of lack of policy formation in the road transport sector. Mr. President, if we want to save the life of Nigerians on the roads, plying our roads, which we know how good it is, let us pass this bill. Mr. President, if we want to protect the life of Nigerians, ensure that untimely death is prevented, it is our duty. Let us pass this bill. For efficiency of the road transport sector, proper policy formation, Mr. President, let us pass this bill. Thank you, Mr. President.
Let me ask you, recorded 74 deaths. Don't you think you should find out, is it because of the alignment? Is it the undulating path of the road? Is it because of pothole or neglect or something? Because we used to have that kind of road in my state at the Civil Service Training Center, a big curve that goes into the market. So vehicles will derail, get into the market, kill as many as possible, and it continued for many years, over 40 years. So when I had the opportunity to be a governor, I had to move the alignment of the road. and now no single death is recorded since I completed the construction of that road in 2013. So the one they are talking about is too rapid. So what do you think is responsible? Is it the bad construction? Is it the pothole? Is it the narrowness of the road? Because you can't continue to record such fatalities and the government does not intervene.
Thank you, Mr. This one spot recorded an accident that killed 26 people just last 2 months. The same place.
How many?
26
So
in just one accident.
So what have you done about what?
So what we have done, actually, the cause of this accident is lack of coordination, and it's an undulating road, and you have about 2 military checkpoints. And when the military checkpoint has lined up a series of vehicles, of course we know how it goes, and a truck somehow fails brake, it knocks down the other vehicles, a very sharp undulating. So we have made a case to the Nigerian military to move their checkpoint away from that location because it has killed a lot of people. This particular bill, if we have a framework or a policy on our routes, I don't think we can allow a checkpoint in such sharp road. And what it also brings to us is the time heavy trailers are supposed to ply the roads. Mr. President, you see a truck carrying a container moving in the daytime and in a busy road. Of course, when it skips, we have seen several videos where containers fell off trucks and killed several people. We also see, if you see trucks carrying petroleum products, sometimes when they have accidents, we know the level of fatality that it records. So sometimes the reason why these things happen is because there is no proper regulation on what is happening on our road. It is like a free-for-all. Thank you, Mr. President.
So what do you think can be done in the immediate to stem the tide of fatalities on that road? I know, is that near to 9 miles? I visited him like today. The next day he was taking that road to Abuja. Right on that particular spot, he died with his child. So I'm surprised that people are still allowing people to die there. Because have you discussed this with the Minister of Works? Because if you do a realignment of that road, you can avoid that steep area. Not just because of military checkpoint. People will still die unless something is done about that road. The way it is, I know I have an idea of that road. The way that road is, something needs to be done.
President, on the immediate, the checkpoint. The second solution is to repair the second part of that Lobi road, because every vehicle is plying just the one lane that the RUCC have just constructed. And we have discussed this. In fact, I had a chat with the governor. We took it up with the Ministry of Works. But because work have not commenced on the second section, the part 2 of the road. So everybody is using one lane, but we'll be able to achieve moving the military checkpoint away from the undulating. But the truth is that after 1 month, they will come back there, because we have done that severally.
Federal Ministry of Works describe the situation of the road and see whether they can intervene. As a leader and the senator representing that area, I believe it's something that you can sumo to move a motion, and then we take decisions, and then you follow up.
We have had a motion on that done by the ministry. We need the second part of the road repaired. That is the quickest way, so that oncoming vehicles can be on another lane. Maybe if you give me the opportunity, it's a matter of urgent importance. In our next legislative day, I'll represent the motion.
I'll be glad to join you to follow up.
Thank you, sir.
So we invite the minister. It has been done, because I know the road you are talking about, and I'm surprised it's still the same way. You don't, to avoid another life, you may not know whose life. I'm not threatening you, because you take that road yourself. So it's important for something to be done urgently to save other Nigerians from perishing on that spot. And it's also a dangerous area. because there's a bush there, there's a forest there.